What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the show. I wanted to hop on here really quick because I put up a post and a video on my other channel, and I got a lot of response to it. So first of all, let me know where you're tuning in from, city and state, and if you're tuning in from outside this great nation, of course, let me know where you're tuning in from, country, region, or province. Okay, so the post I put up was about your most valuable asset, which is time. And I hear a lot of people every day in my everyday life, I'm sure you do too, talk about how they don't have enough time for this, they don't have enough time for this, they're busy with their kids, they're busy with this, or busy with this. They're busy, busy, busy. But you look at how much time people waste on social media. Now, they vary, but I've read in multiple places that the average that someone spends on social media is to the tune of hours per day. Hours per day. Now, that may sound like a crazy number, but if you add up all the little breaks you take during the day to check your phone, and then sometimes you get caught up and you get sucked up into 10 minutes here, 9 minutes here, 15 minutes here, and on your lunch break the whole time you're on social media kind of scrolling, that could be another 30, 40 minutes. So I hear that a lot. And the reality is this. On one of my private pages, I put up a photo of me getting into a Lamborghini. And the post got, I can't even tell you, almost 1,000 likes. Okay, so after that, shortly thereafter, a lot of people commented on the post, with the Lamborghini and the color, it was orange, and it was your typical, let me say, social media post. But it was unfortunately, fortunately, it was actually a real post and a real car, and it got a lot of response, almost 1,000 likes. Short time later, based on the response, I was like, wow, maybe people want to know about how to afford a car like that. What have I done in my life to get to that position? So I put up a post talking about the businesses I've started, kind of entrepreneurship. I didn't get too crazy about it, but I did get into some of the details about what I did. And I talked about the first company I started that sold for an extremely large amount of money, and it got no engagement. It got almost no comments. And unlike the first one with the Lamborghini that I got a boatload of DMs, this got 0 DMs. 0 DMs. Now, that told me something. It told me that people are on social media for entertainment. People want to, and this goes for life in general, people want to look at the dream and they want to experience the dream, let's say, but they don't want to put in the work to achieve the dream. That, when you start talking about that, now people lose all interest. All interest. It's actually quite disturbing because it actually doesn't make sense. If you had someone who was starving, right? And it would almost be as if the starving person that is hungry, famished, was more interested in looking at a photo of a steak than you showing them how to maybe go hunting and get that food and prepare that food for themselves. No, they don't want to know about that. They don't want to know about that. That's all too much, too in depth, takes too much time. Takes too much time. It might take years. Might take years. So rather, they'll just look at the picture of the steak and the nice meal. Well, eventually, they don't put in the time, they don't put in the work, and eventually, their starvation turns into death. Well, let's talk about that from a financial standpoint. You are spending all these hours, your most valuable asset, time. You're spending all these hours and hours and hours, and over the course of the year and years, that turns into weeks, and of course that turns into months that you're spending on social media, wasting time looking at other people living their dreams, and a lot of times it's not even real. It's like they're fake dreams, right? So now there's a loss there. There's a loss there, and then at the end of your days, you don't have the money, you don't have the resources to live a good life, be comfortable, good food, transportation, healthcare, housing, the simple things. Now, why is that? Why is it that people are infatuated with looking at those things, but they have no desire to get those things. But the reality is they need to get those things. Maybe not Lamborghinis and private jets and, mansions, but they need probably more than what they have, right? I think the Wall Street Journal said 95% of Americans are going to run out of money at some point in retirement. Isn't that crazy? 95%. So I've talked about it before, about the fallacy of 401ks and things like that. I'm not going to get into that. But the reality is, you've never met a wealthy person that said, I got wealthy I retired rich off my 401k. You've never heard that. I guarantee you that. Because when you know the story and the history of 401ks, you'll realize that's just not possible. But that's another story. So not only are you wasting the time that's preventing you from getting to this position, but now you're also losing what's called, it's lost opportunity cost, because you're wasting the time, but on top of that, you're losing out on what you could have created had you allocated that time to generating maybe more income, maybe a side hustle, maybe more wealth, maybe educating yourself on finances or business, something. So you lost your time and you lost your ability to use that time, and you lost what that spending that time in the right spot may have got you. So you're in a lose-lose situation. So why are we addicted to the lives we hate? Why are we addicted to staying broke? Why are we addicted to staying fat and out of shape? Why are we addicted with drama, misery? Why don't we want to take the same time that we're allocating to swipe on our phone to watch other people live their dreams? Why don't we take some of that time? It's hard. It's hard to take that. It's hard to put that phone down. It's hard to stop scrolling. That dopamine hit. It's a drug. That's a real thing. And it's hard to do that. It's hard. And we don't want to do it. We'll just scroll and keep going through those stories, wasting time. And then at the end of the day, we'll say, I didn't have time to work out. I didn't have time to read that book on improving my finances. I didn't have time to, go food shopping and get some healthy food. So now I got to order out. I didn't have time. Now you got to order out. So now you're wasting more money, and now you're more broke. Right? So these are all the stories we're telling ourselves. And now, of course, I can see the analytics when I put up this story on who keeps swiping or who will send a message and who stops and reads. So you can see all the analytics, and there's advanced analytics. I'm sure those of you who know social media know that. And the reality is this. 98% of people will see a message like that and will just go to the next story and continue swiping on social media. Only 2%, actually less than 2%, will stop, put their phone down, and say, you know what? This guy's right. I am wasting my time on social media, and I could be using this time to better myself, increase my knowledge, increase my power. Increasing your knowledge increases your power. Increases your power, increases your capacity. Your capacity to do what? Capacity to do anything you want. Right now, I'm learning how to speak Portuguese. I'm doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, lots of Brazilians involved in the sport, so I am learning to speak the language. And it takes anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes a day, consistently. I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It takes an hour to 2 hours, 4 days a week, 5 days a week sometimes, to get better at it, to be consistent and consistently grow. And you have to do it on a regular basis. I have a business I run as a CEO, the business I started. I commit to that. I have side businesses that I've committed to that all need attention. So I do those things, and I don't take the time to waste on social media. Now, of course, owning a business and owning multiple companies, there are times where I have to be on social media to do certain things for the business and address certain things for the business. However, I'm not sitting there scrolling, wasting time for hours on end. That is not going to get me anywhere. I'll never be in a position where I look back one day and I say, man, I wish I spent more time scrolling on social media, looking at people in their private jets and their Lambos. Man, I missed out. If I can go back in time, I would do more of that. I'll never be in that position, and you never will be either. So you make a decision today. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be the person who at the end of the day has the things you want and need and lives a life of comfort, lives a life of good health, lives a life of abundance? Once again, I'm not talking abundance like, mansions on the Amalfi Coast and, private jets. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you have enough money for good food, good medicine, good health care, a good car, a safe car, to take care of other family members, maybe grandkids, leave something behind to them. Maybe that's it. Take a nice trip with your loved one once a year, somewhere nice, travel a little bit. That's all I'm talking about. Now, we all have different goals and dreams that we can have massive dreams and massive ambitions. I tell people sometimes when I just meet them and they tell me, what are some of your goals? And I say, I want an obnoxious amount of money. An obnoxious amount of money. That's what I want. That's my goal. That's what I'm fighting for. And I don't hide it. Some people are embarrassed to say something like that. No, an obnoxious amount of money. That's what I'm going for. And it's not to buy crazy stuff. It's for security, to take care of a lot of the people in my world that I want to take care of, that helped me and gave to me, and now I want to give back. There's different charitable organizations. I'm not the guy who'd ever have like a yacht. I'm just not that guy. But there's a lot of other things I want an obnoxious amount of money for, and that's okay. I'm not ashamed to say it. I will work hard for it. I'm not going to steal it. I will work hard for it, and I will utilize my time wisely for it. I will never be the person who's overweight, scrolling on social media, watching Netflix, doing all this garbage, and saying, I just don't have the time to work out. I wish I did, but I'm so busy. Some of the busiest people I know are somehow too busy to work out, too busy to train, too busy to come to jiu-jitsu with me, go to the gym with me, do something active with me, but yet they're always talking about the newest show they're watching on Netflix or on Hulu or Disney Plus. Hey, did you watch this? Hey, did you see a new episode of Yellowstone? Oh, my God, have you seen this? You know that person. It might be you. We're getting to the point where we're dealing with so much, we're hearing so much BS and lies in our everyday life from the media and everything else. People are starting to tune in and tune out. And when you start spewing your BS, guess what? Now people's meter is registering, and they're going to say, you know what, this is more BS. This is more BS. It's more BS. This guy's making up a story. This woman's making up a story. They're just choosing not to. They're choosing not to. So, there's a time and a place for relaxation, social media, unwind. However, everything in moderation. Everything in moderation. And if you're not currently living the life that you want, that you desire, step one is easy. Look at what you spend your time during the day. Turn on the screen time app on your phone. Look at how much time you are spending on your phone. Start there. And now back away from that. Back out of that and say, okay, I'm going to cut my phone time to this, and I'm going to allocate that time that I was spending on this. I don't care what it is. Most for you, it probably needs to either be fitness, finances. Those two things. Those two things. Try it and let me know what happens. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more content and you want to listen to more content about the channel and be notified when new videos come out, hit that subscribe button. If you're listening on podcast platforms, subscribe as well. We love all of you who are committed to making yourself better and committed to knowing and hearing the truth, even if it hurts sometimes. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.